Hi, my name is Lourdes. I'm Miss Lourdes Usuriaga, and I am the teacher for this business English course. This is the advanced level class. Hello, yes, this is the advanced level. You know, until last class, that was the July the 9th, where I was teaching the basic level. But a few days ago, Camex called me and asked me to, I don't know, to offer this class for advanced level because I understood they were like coordinating with the students and asked me to make this class a little bit more difficult so we can cover the advanced level. So in this case, I'm not going to speak in Spanish because I have to focus in the advanced students. Okay. Entonces, por única vez voy a hablar en español para quedar claro. Lo que les estaba comentando hace un momento era de que hasta la clase del 9 de julio, que estábamos llevando los temas del sílabo, estábamos haciendo la clase para nivel básico. Pero luego Camex se comunicó conmigo y me pidió que desde esta fecha dicte los temas en nivel avanzado. Entonces, quería dejar claro esto por si de repente vamos a tener alumnos de clases anteriores, avisarles de que voy a estar dictando estas clases a nivel avanzado y eso significa de que no voy a hablar en español toda la sesión, voy a hablar solamente en inglés. Y si ustedes tienen alguna consulta sobre la clase, me la tienen que hacer en inglés y yo les voy a contestar en inglés. Okay, so as you may see, the written English is one of the most used forms that we have because when we know someone for the first time, the most common way of communicating is by mail or texting or posting something. And then we continue to talk by the phone or have a video conference or anything else. But the written communication is the first way to communicate with other people. So today, so this is the learning objective for today. After completing our session, we will be able to, and we have two specific objectives. We are going to understand what's an effective written communication, and we are going to have some guidelines to autocorrect our own written mails. Okay? So let's start. I have a few questions for you people. What do you think it's an effective communication? Would you say that these three examples are kind of a effective communication, or maybe there is something wrong with them? So any idea of what's wrong with these examples? Let's have an comparison so we can understand better why this would not be an effective communication form. So we have these three sentences, and I am proposing these three ones, and now we are going to have a comparison. So the first column is what we saw As examples, there are many issues that students face at university, and I propose students face many issues at universities. Okay, so let's compare number one. So in the left, you see there are many issues that students face at the university. The sentence have different structure, and why is that? It's because students in the left, students is at the end, and at the right, students is at the beginning. Okay? So why would you think that this happened? Okay, so in this case, the difference is that we have a passive and active voice. Okay, so just for this time, I'm going to switch to Spanish so we can understand what passive and active voice. Okay, solo por un ratito vamos a cambiar a español para entender un poquito lo que es voz pasiva y voz activa. ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, si yo dijera, los estudiantes están en clase, estaría diciendo que los estudiantes están realizando una acción que es estar en clase. Esa sería una oración normal como la conocemos. ¿Ok? Pero si yo dijera, la Miss está siendo escuchada por los estudiantes, entienden que habría una diferencia en cómo lo explicamos. ¿Por qué? Porque ahora estamos hablando de la Miss como alguien que está transmitiendo conocimientos, pero no es la figura principal de la oración. Al decir, la Miss está siendo escuchada por los estudiantes, podríamos haberlo dicho como, los estudiantes están atendiendo a una clase con la Miss. Y ahí podemos ver que los estudiantes son el protagonista de la oración. So, in this case, you can see that, for example, in the right, the main character is students, because students face many issues at university. But in the left, you see that we put first the phrase, there are many issues that students face at university. Okay, so when you are direct, the sentence is more strong and it's more easy to understand. Okay, so when we are direct, we are more effective as communicators. Okay, cuando somos directos, somos más fuertes y más efectivos en nuestra comunicación. Eso es lo que estamos tratando de entender en este slide. ¿Queda claro? So, in the second example, you see that, for example, it says, a lot of time is wasted. And in the right, you see, much time is wasted. Okay, the right is better. Why? Because we are talking in less words. En el ejemplo 2, igualmente la derecha es mejor porque estamos diciendo lo mismo pero en menos palabras. En vez de a lot of time, estamos diciendo much time. Mucho más rápido, mucho más directo. Ese es el segundo ejemplo. Third example. The accountant did an audit. El contador hizo una auditoría. Y en el otro dice, the accountant audited the company. el contador auditó la empresa. Puede sonar muy parecido, pero una cosa es decir, el contador hizo una auditoría y otra cosa es decir, el contador auditó. Es mucho más directo. Entonces eso es parte de cómo se comunican los americanos y también, sobre todo los americanos, son bastante directos al escribir las cosas y al hablar. Entonces, a veces si somos de los que hablamos con muchas palabras y nos hacemos muchos rodeos, pues no nos ajustamos mucho al idioma americano. ¿Sí? Okay, so next slide. So, the first suggestion is that we have to prefer strong verbs and avoid weak verbs. Do you understand the title of the slide? Okay, so we have to avoid weak verbs. And what's a weak verb? It's a verb that doesn't communicate too much meaning. Okay? So, for example, you have, he gave assistance to my friend. But it's better to say, he assisted my friend. So instead of two words, you have only one word. And in the second row, in the second column, sorry, you see, she made an objection. But it's better to say, she objected. And that's it. Is it clear? Okay, so now we're going to have 4 tips to better, to better communicate our written communication. Yeah? So let's continue. The intention for this part is that you can understand these tips, okay? So you can autocorrect your written communication in case you start redacting something, okay? So do you know the meaning for this word? Cheat sheet? Cheat sheet, ok, cheat sheet es como una hoja para nuestro plagio, como para plagiar, es algo así, tiene ese sentido el cheat sheet, ok. Entonces, si ustedes escriben mucho en inglés o en algún momento van a escribir algo amplio, largo en inglés, les recomiendo que tengan a la mano estas 4 reglas que les van a permitir hacer un barrido y una corrección de su redacción cuando vuelvan a revisarlo por segunda, tercera, cuarta vez si quieren que quede perfecto. ¿Ok? Muy bien. So let's start. First tip, it's to use action verbs. Okay, action verbs. It's what we saw in the previous slide. Okay, so I'm going to give you examples so you can understand better. And the wrong form, the wrong way, it's going to be in cursiva. Okay, so it's better to say I mailed the letter. Okay, but saying the letter was mailed by me, it's not so correct because it's more long, it's longer, and it's more difficult to understand. Okay. In Spanish, si yo les dijera, yo envié la carta, es mucho más rápido de procesar que decir, la carta fue enviada por mí. ¿Sí? Es como que un sentido más académico, más literario. Entonces, hablar como que un sentido literario, como un libro, una novela, no es el sentido que quisieran los americanos cuando estamos hablando de negocios o cuando estamos hablando con ellos. Ellos son bastante prácticos, ¿sí? Entonces, tenemos que evitar eso. So, the second tip is to obey the 8-word test. Okay, 8-word test. Keep your noun and your verb within 8 words of each other. The closer, the better. So you understand tip number 2? It says that your noun, which is the main character of the sentence, has to be close to the verb. Okay? For example, the first sentence, it's not so good. Why? Because manager and is are very far from each other. Okay? So I'm going to read it, and it's not going to be clear. The manager responsible for the daily update of our new ERP is out of office. So to understand the verb, first you have to hear 9 words and you don't know what's happening with the manager. Okay, so it's better to say, the manager called in sick today, so we are missing the daily update of our new ERP. It's more clear and it's more easy to understand, okay? Because you know now in this second sentence, you know that the manager called. So now you have the character and the action, and then you have the rest of the information, and you're going to understand better. Okay? So tip 2. Is it clear? Okay. Great. So let's continue to tip number 3. And we have tip number 3. Explicit connectors. Do you know what it's a connector? For example, in these 2 sentences that I present, which is the connector? Because of that, it's our connector. For example, this first example is wrong. Now we are going to understand why it's wrong. Okay, it says, the manager didn't treat the workers well. They were poorly motivated and often quit. Now let's read the better way to say this. The manager mistreated the workers. Because of that, workers suffered from poor motivation and often quit. Okay? So, the second example is better because connects the first sentence with the second one. Okay? So let's translate this paragraph. The second one. It says, el manager, el gerente, trataba mal a los trabajadores. Es por eso, because of that, es por eso, que los trabajadores sufrieron de poca o de pobre motivación y usualmente renunciaban. ¿Ok? En cambio, en el primer párrafo dice, El gerente no trataba bien a sus trabajadores. Punto. Ellos estaban bajamente motivados y usualmente renunciaban. ¿Ok? En el primero son dos oraciones independientes. Uno por su lado, el otro por el otro y no hay ninguna relación. Pero en la segunda se entiende mucho mejor porque te dice que la primera oración, que es el gerente no trata bien a su gente, es la causa de que luego los trabajadores tuvieran poca motivación y renunciaran. ¿Se entiende ahora mejor? Okay, great. So now you understand that the second sentence, the second paragraph, sorry, the second paragraph, it's better because it connects the first sentence with the second one, okay? But the first paragraph, it's just two sentences and they don't have any connections. That's why it says that it's better to use connectors. And because of that, it's the phrase that connects the first sentence with the second one. Okay, so let's go to the fourth and final tip. In this tip, we have to understand that we have to, it's better when we tell a story, when we offer the facts, the middle, and the end, okay? So the first part has to be the problem. The first part has to be the problem. The problem is first, the solution is second, and the call to action is the third. Okay? So let's read this example that I'm sharing with you. First, you have to frame the problem. You have to demonstrate that there is a problem. Okay, so in this case, it says, we are losing clients because of the competition. It's the same as estamos perdiendo clientes por la competencia. Second, you pose a solution. Vas a formular una solución. And it says, let's create a retention program. Creemos un programa de retención. And third, you have a call to action. Let's bring an expert who has done this before. La llamada a la acción es traigamos un experto que haya hecho esto antes. Okay? So when you communicate, you have to follow these three parts. So the people who is reading your email or your post or your story, they understand what's the complication of the problem, and they understand that you are going to solution that problem, and then you are going to propose an action to tackle that problem. So I would like to understand if that's clear. Entonces, en resumen, este tip significa que este tip nos dice de que primero tenemos que comunicar que hay una complicación o un problema para que la persona que nos está leyendo entienda que hay una complicación. Luego de que comuniquemos la solución, para que ellos entiendan de que eso viene de un problema, ¿no? Toda solución es para un problema. Y lo tercero es que expliques cómo vas a solucionar eso. O sea, ya dijiste, la solución es esta, pero ahora el primer paso para comenzar a solucionarlo sería el call to action. ¿Ok? ¿Está claro? So let's have some exercises. Freddy, can you tell me if we can improve these sentences? The first one, policeman conducted an investigation. How we can improve this sentence? Freddy? First sentence. Patricia, second sentence. And Judith, third sentence. Okay. My mom made the cake. Okay, Patricia. That's perfect. Okay. Frey, not so much. Frey, the answer would be policeman investigated. Okay. Investigated is also a verb. So it's not necessary to say conducted an investigation. It's just investigated. Policeman investigated, and then the rest of the sentence. Okay? And let's say, Judith, how we can improve the third sentence. Okay, so Judith, this was the most difficult. Okay, what we have to complete there is that we are only talking about the problem. Okay, and as I said in the previous tips, we have to talk about the three parts. Okay, three parts: problem plus solution plus call to action. Okay, so not just about the problem. So in that case, it would be better to talk about the problem. What's the problem? Not just say it's a problem, and then formulate the solution and propose a call to action. Okay, is it clear? No, problem, the solution for that sentence is to amplify the sentence, because we are only talking about a problem and we don't know what's the problem, what the problem is. So if you say, let's focus on the problem, but what's the problem? What's the problem? And where is it? The solution and the call to action. So what's wrong in it is that we don't have the solution and that we don't have the call to action. Solution and call to action are missing. Not because problem, not because problem doesn't explain what the problem is. When you say problem, it's not specified. Yeah, yes. Okay, people, so let's close this class. So that's the end of our class. Thank you for being here and live. I don't know if you have any more questions. Okay, so thank you very much for being on time in this class.